Hello, everyone. So I'm using this mic that I actually usually use for practicing musical recording work. And this is a part of my endeavor to improve the sound quality. I'm going to be working on the video quality soon. So hopefully this translates well. It feels a little crisper, not too much gain. We'll find out. I want to speak about Mars right now. So Michelle and I spoke yesterday about the general energy of the rest of this year. We have a lot of completion and integration, but right now in particular, Mars is still moving retrograde. And over the next week, Mars will be slowing down and coming to a complete halt and then beginning to move direct. But we still have another week of Mars basically being in a total standstill. So it's useful to tune into what this energy speaks to. As always, what's happening out there is in here. So Mars, the planet of movement, action, initiation, directive, is stopping. So what does that mean when Mars, which always needs movement, there's always something new. We're always going towards the next thing. What does it mean when that planet is completely stopped? First, one of the difficult expressions of that experience can be the Mars need to stay in constant motion. Being in any kind of indecision or not being able to move forward on something, to make a decision, to go to the next thing, make a choice, move through the obstacle, just all the things in life that require our conscious engagement can be a very difficult and stressful and anxious experience for anyone. With Mars in general, we really do need to be connected to that sense of command. I am saying yes, I am saying no, I am moving forward with my life. But one of the challenges here can be this hastiness, the anxiety of wanting to get there already, especially with all the Capricorn stuff involved. There's a sense of I want to be accomplished. I want to do things and get things done. I want to be successful. I want to get this whole project taken care of. I want to move to the next level. I want to get beyond this and get clarity and be decisive and constructive. What this can really do is create a situation where we're running ahead of ourselves. Mars is slowing down. It's not speeding up. It's coming to a complete stop. So this doesn't mean not moving. This doesn't mean not acting. But there is an invitation to become more self-reflective and self-aware of how we are in relationship to that active energy. And there are two ways that we can be moving. One is where we're trying to be where we need to be. And what will happen is we'll have a temporary sense of satisfaction of, like, okay, I'm just going to buy the expensive microphone equipment and video camera and just want to get all professional. There might be a momentary sense of gratification in that. And then it comes and there are so many factors that perhaps I'm not prepared for, that I didn't think about, or do I actually know specifically what I'm intending to use it for and how I want to use it and what's really necessary? So instead of moving forward, the invitation here is to find a relationship to movement and action and decisiveness that comes from stillness, that comes from a deeply rested place within us, which might mean bringing a little bit of a questioning to that impulse to act and to do, not repressing it, by no means repressing it, but giving ourselves the permission to act within the means of our abilities right now. To not lift weights that are beyond what we can do, but it doesn't mean not to work out. So doing what we can do, it can feel frustrating, it can feel slower than what we want, but what's happening is we're developing a lot of wisdom. We're gathering the pieces that we don't have yet, actually. With Mars, we always learn through action and then reaction. We reap the awareness of what happened just by doing the next thing. And so we can use a lot of this energy to cultivate clear, clean, humble activity. And if we find ourselves moving towards a natural state of restfulness, great. My sense of it, though, it's not necessarily about, going on a retreat and doing nothing, because this is a lot of energy. And this Mars is squaring Jupiter. There's a lot of potency in these particular transits right now. There's a lot of, new activity and expansion that is in the field. But it could be more like the things that you're doing aren't necessarily the direct straight line types of things that you thought you wanted to do. But it's actually allowing you to create a ground, create a foundation that will work. And when we bring in the Capricornian planets, it says, great, you're not rushing, you're not trying to get there already. So next week when Mars moves direct, it's going to go slow, it's going to build momentum. And then at some point it'll join, it's going to square Jupiter, it'll square Pluto, then it'll square Jupiter and Saturn, it'll move into Taurus. It's like we're entering a whole new phase of activity and clarity and constructiveness and certainty. And even that will have a new, level of growth and discovery and blossoming. Everything's a process. But by trusting where we are right now, really respecting the timing, and we can find inside that sense of wanting to be somewhere else, wanting to go further, wanting to get there already. That's the archetypal experience right now. Very common with Mars stationing. The difference between Mars stationing retrograde and Mars stationing direct is when it stations retrograde, we're not wanting to stop the activity. And so there can be this incredible angst to keep on moving when now it's time to slow down and go within. When Mars is beginning to move direct, we're wanting to get out of that slowness and be like, all right, I've done this. I've been in this indecisive or not really moving as forward as I want to. I want to just get there already. And there can be all these, Aries type ideas of, what's the fear of not acting? What's the fear of not getting the thing done? Existentially, it says, if I can't do this, I'm not living. It's like I'm dead. If we're not engaging with our life, if we're not making choices that are relevant to our own soul growth, it's akin to feeling like we're giving up on life. And so that can easily lead to a lot of thoughtlessness and hastiness in our activity. So the prayer and the practice and the meditation and the blessing is bringing more curiosity and attention to action that is accessible, that is in flow. Let me take a moment. I feel like there's a way to land in this a little more deeply. It's kind of like if you have friends coming over for dinner and you're so excited for them to come over and you're going to make them a meal and you just want to get started, and they're coming over Wednesday night, but it's Sunday and you have 3 days and you want it to happen now. Like, they're not going to come before Wednesday, but you want it right now. So you're going to take out your food, you're going to cook it, the house is going to smell great, and you'll feel all prepared. But then it's like 3 days, the food's going to get cold. It's not going to be the same vibe. You will be eating other meals in the meantime. So there's something about, okay, I can clean the house. I can, work on all these other things, research recipes. Even more than research, I can start soaking the seeds. I can slaughter the chicken. All these things that are actually accessible and available to you right now. In fact, the meal might even be better, more prepared, a more professionally prepared meal. Because we're letting ourselves use this time to really orient towards actions that are useful, that are really relevant and helpful for the longer term of our development.